Hi, Miss Tanya. How are you, babe? Hi, Christy. Give me just a second while I invite my special guests. Just a sec to find my special co-host for the night.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. If I can figure out how to put my view on.
It's like a little camera looking deal.
Yeah.
We're starting up a little bit early so that we can get all the things worked out. I don't see Joe.
There we go. All right. Let me blur. Enhance.
Well, how do you do that? Hey, Joe. There you are. Okay, 1 second. Let me add you on. If I can find you. Let's see. Okay. I know you're in here somewhere, Joe. Just having a hard time. Can you send me a request, Joe? Hi, Amy. Hi, Ash. Hi, everyone. Hi, Deborah. Joe, I think if you can send me somewhere, it'll say requests to join. Hi, Marlena. Hey, Christy. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. We're going to start here in just a couple minutes. I'm going to put some music on while we wait for everything. Hey, Marie. Thanks for joining. We're just getting started up, so it'll be just a minute. You just did. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. There's Joe. Oh, Amy, you're so sweet.
Hello.
I feel like I'm on fire, but not in a good way. Thank you, Marlena. Hey, Lena, you made it. So Joe is going to be my special co-host tonight.
There we go.
And he's just working on his camera. There he is.
Hello.
Hey, Joe.
How's everyone
How are
doing
you?
tonight?
I'm here. I'm good.
I hear you.
Hi, I'm Chelle.
Hi, I'm
This
Joe.
is
Nice to meet
Chelle.
you.
So what episode is this? Episode 13? Want to say 14, maybe? But anyways, this is Invisible No More. And tonight we're going to have BlessYourVibes.com on. Her name is Chelle. She has a special website of her own, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. And she's going to be sharing her journey tonight with cancer and some other things. So a couple of things we want to start with before we get into her story is that this is a safe space. We created this place for everyone to be able to share their stories and their experiences, and we want for it to be a safe place. So please, if you have anything not nice to say, go say it somewhere else, or don't say it at all, even better. But this is a drama-free zone, no drama llamas. The only llamas that are allowed are the little llamas that jump up on the screen if you gift them. We also don't talk about politics in here, just
Nope.
one of the no-nos. And there are plenty of other channels that you can go find that on right now, I promise you. You almost can't avoid it. But anyways, so just a couple things. Dixie is here tonight modding for us, but she's been going through a lot, so I'm just going to go over a couple things. Down on the bottom right-hand corner, there is an arrow pointing to the right. That is so that you can share out, this live to anybody you know. If you want to share it to friends, family, people that you know are also struggling that may have not found us yet. Sharing is caring.
Right.
So let's get those shares out. Gifts are always appreciated, but never ever expected. So I just want to put that out there.
Tap the screen.
Oh,
Tap
yeah.
the
Tap the
screen.
screen. Tap the screen. Tap on my face. Tap, 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 tap. Let's get it out to the FYP page. Thank you, Joe. And up top, there is a little orange heart. I believe it only costs 1 cent to press that heart. It gives us X amount of likes to go towards the FYP page. So if you guys don't mind doing that, 45 points to get to the FYP page. All of that is very helpful. We are trying our hardest to get the message out there. And let me tell you, for someone who's been doing this for a couple of years and has pretty much gotten shut down a lot, it's hard. It's hard to get the message out. So the more that you guys can help us with that, we really, really appreciate it. So, Joe, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
So my name is Joe. I'm 48 years old, and I have complex regional pain syndrome. Lucky me, right?
Right, we hit the lotto on that one, didn't we?
Yeah, because normally it affects more women than it does men.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so,
You have CRPS, you have a family, right?
What's that?
I said you have a family, right?
Yeah, I have a wife. She's actually here. Her name is Katie. And I have a 26-year-old daughter. Her name is Taylor. She's in the living room taking care of the pups right now.
Nice.
So, we've been married for 17 years and together 23, I believe.
Nice.
Don't quote me on that.
Oh, don't ask me. My anniversary is coming up on the 27th or 28th. I can't remember what date.
Mine's April 21st. Yeah.
Okay. Did he get that right, Katie?
Yeah, I think I did.
Well, anyways, Joe has been a really big supporter of us, for the last few months that we've been doing this. And he was part of the Grief Project that we did. If you guys haven't already seen the Grief Project videos, I implore you to keep searching #Grief Project and keep sharing those videos out. Somebody needs to hear that right now.
Yes, I do, yeah.
And then we just got done doing the Bias Project, and Joe was also very supportive of us women doing the Bias Project, and I really appreciate you making those videos for us and showing us that support. It's appreciated.
You're welcome. It was, it was an eye-opener, because I didn't realize that, after, like I said, after I started talking with my daughter, I was like, well, there is a bias, where before I didn't see it.
Right.
Because I was treated completely different, you know. So when that came to light, I was like, oh, it's sad.
It is.
It's sad, no matter how you look at it.
It is
It's
sad.
not right.
Yeah, and I mean the Bias Project videos, they were tough to do. I'm sure everybody that was involved can attest to that. And we can keep. It doesn't have to end there, right? I mean, we want you guys to continue to share your stories. We want you guys to continue sharing stories of bias. Use that hashtag so that we can share it out. Tag us in it so that we can help share the videos out. These things need to come to light, and we don't shy away from hard subjects.
Yep.
But I am really looking forward to November, really quick before we get into telling Chelle's story. November is going to be a positive month for us. We are going to be focusing more on the wins. We're going to be focusing more on how advocating for ourselves has helped us in certain ways. We want to share more of those stories. So if you guys have any success stories that you really want to share, then definitely reach out to us. November and December are hard months for a lot of us.
Right.
A lot of us. Right. And mental health really matters to me. As I'm sure you guys know, I talk about it a lot. But I want to make November like Mental Health Awareness Month. I want for us to really focus on how we can strive to try to be our best selves, our best versions of ourselves, even despite the pain. Because I'll tell you, I've been hurting the last couple days, and it's taken a lot out of me to try to push through it. But I think it's important, having a certain mindset does help. And so we want to teach you guys some tricks and tools that we've learned, and hopefully have it be, a more positive, more uplifting month for all of us.
Right. I actually had my first psychiatrist appointment today.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it went really good, so.
Good. That's sweet. Well, I look forward to hearing about that journey.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Miss Chelle. So I've seen part of your cancer journey today. I watched it on your website. Chelle has a website, BlessYourVibes.com, and it has some of her story. It has some of your journeys, your traveling journeys, which are really exciting. I love seeing that. One thing that it said, I really love the tattoo that you got, and she actually got it while she was in London, and it says "Die with memories, not dreams," and I love that message. It's something that I've really been striving to focus on these last few years of my life, is making the most out of this life despite the pain, I like when you said, fuck my credit, fuck the system, fuck society, let's do this. I love that. That's my kind of woman right there.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you, Amanda, for inviting me, and I appreciate all the watchers and, everybody that's going to discuss tonight. My name is Chelle. I am the owner of BlessYourVibes.com. I am a cancer patient, a chronic cancer patient with bladder cancer, but I am also, before that, I was a chronic pain patient. I have been on pain medication well over 15 years now, consistently. My story began when I fell off the roof of a building as a teenager.
Oh my God.
And that was my trajectory in life, that just said, you're going to be a sufferer the rest of your life. And I was. It got progressively worse. Damaged my SI joint, lower lumbar. And then on top of the other health issues I've had, I also have been obese all my life. Mm-hmm. So you put all these different factors, polycystic ovaries, insulin resistance, asthma, allergies, all that together, and you get me. So I've been, it's been a struggle, and there were a lot of really, really hard days. I would always try what I could to lose weight, because doctors always said, you got to eat better and lose weight, exercise. And I was always active despite my pain.
Yeah.
Push through it. And before I was introduced, I don't know if we're allowed to say the medications.
We try to use shorthand terms for them just so we don't get flagged.
Okay. There at the time, it was just a step above over-the-counter ibuprofen.
Okay.
So some of you guys know which that one was.
Yeah.
That was my miracle drug, because where I was at the time, I couldn't barely walk. Mm-hmm. I had pain everywhere, in my feet, in my back, my upper neck. I couldn't lift my shoulders above my arm, or my arms above my shoulders. And I went to my first pain clinic, and they introduced me to not what a pain management clinic is today. It was, I think, what the original purpose of a pain management clinic was, to seek out alternate ways to modify your movements, massage therapy, meditation, it was all these different,
more of a holistic approach to it, like
right, but in a medical sense.
Yeah.
And the the massage therapist got me onto stretching, and eventually got me where I could, be fully mobile with my arms and my neck and everything. But it was just my heels and my back. Because when I fell on my feet and then on my butt. So I basically like crushed like a compression.
Yeah.
Okay.
And never had it treated because I was doing something I wasn't supposed to do as a kid. So it was never treated, never looked at or anything. So that doctor introduced me to this medication, and it took away all the pain. And I had a son that was just starting Cub Scouts. And so, if anybody's familiar with that, you're pretty active with the kids. You walk in parades,
Right.
doing things. And so before that, we had one parade, and I couldn't even barely make it to the truck. And then after I started the medication, I could walk the full parade. I mean, I was tired,
Wow.
but I could do it. And then ever since then, I maintained a very active life. Because, I'm a single mother raising a very rambunctious son and keeping him active. And you would have thought that helped me lose weight or helped with my health. No.
Yeah.
So flash forward, because that was like my fun years. I had, very little pain as long as I took that.
Right.
And then, the issues where, the pharmacy messes up your script, you run out, and back then it wasn't classified. I don't know, what is it, class C or D or A or whatever it is. It wasn't classified back then. So I could just go and get it like I would, an allergy medicine or asthma medicine. It was no big deal. But then as everything started cracking down, it became pretty more difficult to manage getting the script.
Sure.
And, I had to it was tough. We all know this, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So at some point, I'm also a bariatric patient. So, not managing that well because of that story, which is a whole nother story. I'll refrain. My vitamin levels were dropping. I didn't know this.
Okay.
And so at the time I was going to a new I moved. So a new pain management clinic. And I felt again, like my whole body was just collapsing inside of itself. Like I couldn't move. I couldn't walk. I was like hunched over.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to get into a wheelchair, but I was heading down that route. And I just happened to get blood work from a bariatric office. And at the time, before the results came in, I went to my pain management, and he said, he diagnosed me with fibromyalgia and said that I needed to go on all these major drugs, medications. And
Do you remember which ones that they wanted to start you on from the start?
the one was a pain patch. I don't remember the name of that one.
Okay. There's only a couple. I'm on one of them.
If you say it, it'll probably trigger in my brain.
Does it start with a fent? Is it a transdermal patch or a mouth?
Transdermal patch, yeah.
Well,
Seems like it was a P or something.
A P?
Years, I'm not sure. Because I was on it for maybe a month.
Okay.
It really didn't help.
Okay.
It made me druggy, and I not drowsy, sorry. Sometimes I misspeak because of the chemo.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Nobody's judging you on that here, I promise. I promise.
But at the time I started my career, and I was like, I have to focus. You know, I have a lot of mental abilities I need at work, so I couldn't have anything that made me tired and kind of loopy. So the pain patch really wasn't a good fit. Didn't really help. A little bit of pain relief, but not much. Wanted to put me on the OX one.
Okay.
And I absolutely refused. And he said, well, I'm diagnosing you, because he pushed on parts. Right. He's like, I'm diagnosing you with fibromyalgia. And at the time, I'm like, knew very little of it. And I thought, what else is going on with me? You know, like, what else could go wrong? And so before my next visit, I got a call from this other doctor's office and was like, are you in a lot of pain? And I was like, yeah. Now, if you think about it, this bariatric is not related at all to my pain management. And she's like, do you feel like your bones hurt? And I'm like, yes. She said, your vitamin D level is a 6. You are extremely deficient.
Wow.
We need to get you on high, 50,000 units of vitamin D. And that was the first time I ever heard about that. And 2 days after taking that, everything just felt so much better.
Yeah.
And so by the time I went back to that doctor, the pain management doctor, I was like, I don't have fibromyalgia. I had a vitamin D deficiency. All these meds that you tried, giving me, just that really wasn't helping much, but vitamin D helped. So I still have some pain in the original spot, my back, but I'm not hurting anywhere else. And he refused to accept that. He wanted to send me to psychiatrist and said that I had to accept that I had fibromyalgia. And that was not the first time I experienced medical gaslighting, but it was definitely the first time I was misdiagnosed. And I just was so livid. I said, you're fired. And I never went back to them. But I did find someone that, every place I ever had to move to, that was my priority in life, was finding a good pain management that would not give me hassle. Right. And I could take this medicine and be fine.
Because it's such a vital part of us having a quality of life. These medications are not just because for funsies or because we want to take them. They're medications that we need to have a quality of life, to be able to work, to be able to, just do anything, really.
Yes.
Right.
So I guess to wrap up my story, the life just continued, and I maintained this level of, not pain-free, but functional.
Right.
And then I fell. I had a really bad fall in 2021. I fell over my dog. And I fell on my left side, but my whole right side, my hip area, hurt so bad. And I knew I broke something, I just knew it. And I got x-rays, nothing's broken, but I still had a lot of pain. And the pain management clinic that I was going to, they're really kind and compassionate. And I don't want to rock the boat with them, but they do push other treatments beside medication. They're fine with me because in my state, what I take isn't no longer classified where you have to drop urine every month and all that.
Right.
If I want to go on anything stronger, that starts that process. So that limits me because I could be a little bit more pain-free, but at the expense that I have more office visits to pay, to take time off work to go to, manage all these other things. And with everything going on in my life, I'm not willing to take that risk. Not yet.
Right.
So the injury has, where I'm at now, it's still not identified. This happened at the beginning of 21, and we're almost at the end of 24. I've been to our orthopedic doctor saying I need a total hip replacement.
Oh wow.
All the way from you need to not eat sugar and exercise. So
I hate those comments.
yes.
You know.
Yeah.
And I got videos, like each time I experienced this stuff, I did a video and put it on TikTok because it's ridiculous. It's truly, anybody has to put up with that, you know. But
I really worked on my speech for advocating to let doctors know how harmful that can be to a patient.
yeah.
I've had it with a couple doctors lately. So,
Well, I've gotten to the point where I, part of my business is I do like print on demand. So I have things on t-shirts and stuff. And this is my new, I know it's probably backwards.
no
Gaslighting allowed.
gaslighting allowed. I love that. I love
And
that.
I put that in my shop, and I had doctor's appointment today. So that's why I'm wearing it.
Yeah.
Ever since I wear this to every doctor's appointment, and I can see their eyes looking at it. And I think it has made a difference.
Yeah.
I
That's
really
good.
do. Because I've been to about 5 doctor's appointments. 2 doctors I've seen previously who don't really listen to me, blow me off, you know, get me like in and out. They stop. It's like they, throughout the day, they're just so used to routine, but then you see that and they're like, oh wait, I have to really pay attention to what I'm saying because she's going to get on me if, you know,
Right.
I think it helps.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it is a really cool shirt. I got to say that.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. And I'm size
If you guys want to
inclusive.
order them, she has her own
Yeah.
website.
Yep. Size inclusive up to 5X, all different colors. Right on my website right there.
He's got some awesome shirts and stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Really good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where I'm at now is like I still have the hip injury. It's really affected my mobility, to the point where I've faced again the fear of becoming, wheelchair bound.
Yeah.
Last year I went through a year of chemo and I hardly went anywhere the whole year, just because that had its own side effects.
Right.
But fortunately, I discovered a mobility device that has helped me tremendously.
Oh, good.
There's like so many benefits. Then I got it because I'm, like you mentioned earlier, I'm traveling now. I would
Right.
not have the ability to travel because I was walking with a cane and a walker.
Yeah.
And I found a video on TikTok here for someone that was using the Linker. I don't know if you guys heard of that.
Uh-uh.
It's a walking bike.
Oh, wow.
Is that the one where, like, you do this and the bike moves?
You use your legs to move. It's a big yellow,
Yeah.
well, not a big, but it's like a A-frame bike.
Huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And since getting that, like last year when I knew I was going to be traveling this year, it popped up in my feed and I knew instantly, I'm like, that is going to help me. Because I can walk, I can go for long distances, but it's the pressure on my back.
Right.
Right.
The pressure on my back, and it makes my legs go numb. It goes weak. I get like, can't move my leg, have to grab my leg and lift it, And I researched, did all these things, actually reached out to the company and made the decision to get one. And I can't just go and buy one, I don't have that cash.
Right.
So they have a fundraising option
Oh,
and also like a rent to own option.
okay.
So I knew at the time, I thought, well, I don't really have the following and all my friends are broke too. So who's gonna, like donate to me, you know? So I went with the rent to own option. And later I found out that it's not like you're not on your own to do the fundraising. They actually help you.
Oh, wow.
So and a lot of current linker owners are the ones contributing also.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's like, it's an amazing program, but it's also an amazing device.
Right.
And it is the primary reason that I was able to travel. I went to the UK next Friday, a week from tomorrow, I'm going to Ireland.
Yes.
My wife will want to go there.
And it's just changed. I've been able to go to concerts and shows and get out and enjoy life.
Right.
And I'm not going to say that it's not painful, because anytime I sit, because of my weight, I'm going to have some pressure points. But the difference between using my cane or a walker and taking frequent breaks and finding a place to sit often, and it just takes so long to get anywhere because I can't move fast. And then here I have my linker, who I named Gulliver.
Gulliver's Travel.
Yep. I just get on that thing and I go. I'm usually like zipping around in the airport or anywhere I go, and it's a workout.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I'll get out of breath.
I was going to ask if it's for PT or if it's actually like a mobility, like where you can take it places and everything like that.
Yeah,
like
it's totally ADA compliant.
Wow.
It can be used for physical therapy. It can be used for like just people who aren't disabled can use it.
Right.
And so I promise you, I'm not a salesperson for them. But
what is it called again?
It's called a linker. ANLINKER.
In linker. Okay.
So a linker, not a linker. Not an linker. It's
not an linker, a linker.
alinker.com.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's you hold it and you like kind of move like that.
No.
It moves. No. Okay.
No. I don't have a picture. I can't because my picture. If you go to my site or go to my profile, you'll see it.
Okay.
It's kind of an A-frame.
Mm-hmm.
And there's handlebars up here, and you're sitting here, and so there's like two wheels in the front and one in the back that support you. And you're walking, like just imagine you're on a 10-speed bike.
Okay.
Walking with no pedals. You're just walking.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Once you see it, it'll make sense. Once you see it, it'll make sense.
Cool.
But there's in learning more about it now that I have it, there's more benefit to it than I even when I first did my research that I didn't realize. But when you're active, I guess a lot of people use it that have MS or cerebral palsy or stroke patients. The movement of your legs creates neural pathways into your brain. So, and it helps you to like get more circulation, I guess, up there.
Right.
You know, because like when you're a pain patient, you can't move. You're just sitting there, so you might have like swelling in your legs or
neuropathy.
Right.
This helps that.
Yeah.
And I just can't say enough.
The weight off your back too.
Yes, it takes all because you sit on your sits bones,
right,
and it takes all that pressure off of your back. You're supported by the handlebars. Like it's been a life changer for me. I wanted to bring that up because I know so many people can benefit from it. I'm not trying to sell anybody, but like that's what it is. It's education. It's learning your story and what works.
Right. And it gives you mobility.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it gives you that freedom.
Yeah, because
You know?
I go to my my cancer doctor's in a major network hospital, and it's like walking 2 miles to get to the office, right?
Oh.
You have to like go through parking, and I would get so exhausted. There's a little cafe almost to the office, and I would just sit there and just rest.
Mm-hmm.
And I took my linker to my last visit, and I got there early because I thought it would take me a while.
Yeah.
But I actually arrived a lot early because I was just shoot.
Nice.
I made it.
Yeah.
And it's just, by the time I would get back to my car, my back would be hurting, my feet, my knees would be hurting.
Right.
And I got back to my car and I'm like, I could go.
Right.
It gave me more stamina to go.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like hearing it, but exercise and movement are so important, even if it's something like water aerobics or something less, with less pressure on your joints and stuff like that. Getting in water if you can. Again, not everybody can, but if you can, it can be very helpful, because muscle atrophy is something that's very common with a lot of us who aren't able to be active, and it just makes our conditions that much worse because we're not having that stability in our in our torso or our backs and things like that, holding our spine up properly. So
yeah.
Did you ever get the vitamin D under control now?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
The doctor told me that because of my bariatric surgery, that I would probably have to be on that, or at least monitor it. So I don't know, the first few years I would get lazy and not think about taking it.
Right.
And then I would start to feel like that, and then I'd be like, I bet. And that would take a couple of like, I feel better. So now it's just part of my medication regimen. I take supplements and everything, and I just ensure, and you have to take it with K2.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
gotta
I just
pour
learned
that
that on TikTok.
Magnesium also.
Yes. Yeah, I'm normally deficient on that. I mean, I've taken, I think, 30,000 units. I've taken plenty of 10,000 units.
Yeah.
And now I'm just taking like you do,
yeah.
just my regular vitamins.
Yeah.
So.
I was taking about 10,000 a day, and then I noticed on some blood work that it was getting kind of on the high end.
Right.
So then I cut back. So for my system, the 5,000 units plus the K2 has maintained me very well. I'm like right in the center, and I, don't have those issues.
Yeah. More doesn't always mean better, even when it comes to natural supplements and things like that, I say that a lot with the supplements that I take. Less is more.
Yeah. So that's just pretty much my story. I mean,
you're a cancer survivor. You had cancer for quite some time, right?
Yeah, I've had 9 recurrences in 6.5 years.
Wow.
And with my chronic cancer, they said it's going to come back. It's just something I have to deal with the rest of my life, as long as I stay on top of my scopes and catch any growth early.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'll never be able to ring a bell. I'll never have that victory, but I have the little victories. Like I had a clear scan this year, or next 6 months I'll have another clear scan. And
But you know what? You're fighting.
yeah.
You're doing what you love. You're traveling. You found ways to have that freedom of movement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where you're not restrained to another device so that's a great thing. I mean, I applaud you for that. That is awesome.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm going to look that up because I use a wheelchair sometimes. So I'm definitely looking that thing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last year I was using a walker. I still use a cane if I'm just like running to I can walk a short distance.
Right.
I'll use just a cane, which it's fine. But if I know, like, okay, I have to go grocery shopping and the cart will help me, I'll be fine. But if I have to go to a mall where I don't have the cart,
right.
I have to take the Linker, you know. But it's really, I encourage, I mean, it's anybody with any kind of mobility issue or just a general health issue would benefit from it. Even people that have no issue, it's just a really good workout.
Yeah.
I've never been able to, I went to a gym for 2 years in a row. I was like, all right, I'm doing this. So for 2 years, I went 3 days, 4 days a week, really watched my diet, was restricted on everything and worked out. And I only lost 20 pounds in 2 years. And I blew out the cartilage in my knees and I damaged my back further because it went up my spine. And it's like, I never got the runner's high or those endorphins. It was always pain and tired and exhaustion.
Have they ever checked your cortisol levels?
Mm-hmm.
They have, and it all came back fine?
Yeah.
Huh.
I was trying to find out if I'm trying to get testing for Hashimoto's, and the doctors won't order the right blood work. Don't know why. I keep asking.
Do you know, I mean, do you obviously know what panels you need or what testing you need?
There is a doctor, Dr. Dan. I don't know if anybody knows him. He's on TikTok.
I think I've heard of him.
He's in Utah or something. I paid for a consult for him, and he gave me the list to, like, it's a thyroid panel, but it's a few additional things. So I have it, like, I have that list.
Yeah.
And I give it to my doctors, and they're like, well, I'm not comfortable ordering that.
And that makes no sense.
Did they say why?
They just say, I'm not going to order it, or they'll say, oh yeah, sure. And then they don't. So I'm going to go to an endocrinologist and demand it.
Yeah. It's important because your thyroid has so many important functions.
Yeah.
And
I really feel like that I'm onto something with that because I do get, like, my voice gets froggy, you know, and I have swallowing issues, and I've been to an ENT. I've been to, like, you know, I'm just tired of going to doctors at this point. So I've been to so many and nothing has really helped. So I feel you. I'm going to this endocrinologist and I'm going to demand it.
Good. Yeah. You
and wear my shirt. Yeah. And be like, don't gaslight me. I know you can order this. I have to pay for it.
I think the endo too can do other tests.
Right.
Yeah.
Before you leave, get a rundown of, you know, a report about your appointment that you just had, and ask for a printout of, you know, I know some places do the My Chart thing, but if you can get a printout at the end of your appointment and it has more information on it than your My Chart does usually.
Yeah.
So that's just one thing I recommend because I sucked at it, and I'm paying for it.
I got so fed up. I'm a techie person, so I'm all into the AI stuff and ChatGPT also.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We need to connect because I need the hookup on how to do that because I'm not technically.
Well, on my site right here, I have GPT tools. You have to be a subscriber to there. It's $20 a month.
Okay.
But I have a tool in there that I know you're not a doctor, and I have asked this thing all kinds of details, and I feel more heard and informed from this little AI tool than in my whole life I've ever been, you know, and you have to take it for what it is because it makes mistakes and it's AI, new AI, baby.
Right.
But it has helped me.
GPT's awesome though.
Yeah, oh it is, yeah. But it's helped me understand my existing conditions and treatments and medications and side effects and what I should take and what I shouldn't and when to take this and take this in the morning and, you know, it's helped me tremendously. And it's also, I have it programmed where you put in your ailments or, you know, your issues.
Okay.
And it'll spit out like a differential diagnosis report to take to your doctor and hand them and say, read this. Now what?
That's great. That is great. It's an AI program, Hiplova, and basically what it does is it collects information off the internet and puts it into like a report. Am I right with? I mean,
yeah. You talk to it like a person,
and it answers you back too, like a person too. Yeah.
Does it? That's crazy. Yeah. I haven't personally used it, but we had on our bias project. There was a rundown of the girl who cried pain. And they did it in ChatGPT to kind of break it down to a shorter version so that people could read it a little more easy. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it's a great tool, and there's others out there, but I like the ones I make because they're all of my GPT tools are related to me somehow, like based on a need. In my life. So when you look on there, it's like, okay, you'll find more about me. Like what's, you know.
There's only so much that we can really fit into, you know, an hour and a half, hour, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's so much to your story, I'm sure, you know, especially with you traveling now. I can't wait to hear more about that in the coming months because I was an avid traveler. I traveled a lot, even though I was in a immense amount of pain. I pushed through it real hard and somehow found ways to enjoy it. You know, but there was a lot of downtime too that a lot of people don't see, you know, when you do this kind of, you know, putting your life out there's a lot that people don't see. There's a lot of downtime in the bed.
A lot of B-roll.
Yeah, right. A lot of medications, a lot of salves and lotions and all that.
When I was in the UK, I found, do I have it here? I found that.
What is it?
I guess it's for like arthritis.
Is that Voltaren?
Voltaren.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
they have Voltaren gel here.
Higher percentage than the US.
Right. The only thing that I know about Voltaren, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it should be on the back of it, but I believe Voltaren has NSAIDs in it. So if you take any kind of oral NSAIDs, it's not good to combine the two.
This is true. However, I had I don't know the other name of it, but I had a prescription of kind of the same stuff, but it was a prescription strength from my pain management doctor. And they said, because I also take Meloxicam, which is arthritis medication.
Yeah.
So I have to be extra careful with that, right?
Right.
And they said, no, you can put as much as you want on your body because it doesn't go through your liver. Doesn't process your system. That's what I was told. I don't know. I don't use it a whole lot. I basically I'm
not saying anything against it, anything negative, because I mean it's just a lot of people don't realize that, and so it was just more of a public service announcement.
Right. Yeah.
You know, just be careful because it goes into the blood barrier and it does process through the liver. So, I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a naturopath. I'm not anybody but with lived experiences. So don't take this as medical advice at all. But I feel like I'll get on my soapbox for 1 second and then I'll jump right off. I feel like we have been led to trust that Tylenol and ibuprofen are much safer than they really are for us. And after reading the backs of the bottles, after using them for years and years and years, it's really scary. It's really scary that you can buy this stuff at the grocery store as much as I want, and I can take as much, you know, as I want, and literally pass from taking too much ibuprofen and Tylenol. I can't take NSAIDs anymore because I overdosed on them. So it really messed up my stomach.
I've been told I have fatty liver also, like the non-alcoholic fatty liver, and they want me to limit Tylenol.
Yeah.
So I have it only for like because Tylenol only helps my headache. I don't take it for anything else. But I'm really cautious about taking that because I don't want that getting worse.
Right.
I used to take Tylenol and ibuprofen so much that it was just ridiculous, especially at the beginning when I got injured. Well, I went through bottles and bottles.
Big bottles too. Like the Costco.
I was buying like a Sam's Club, like the 2-pack. And I will go through like 2 of these bottles in a month. And I would tell the doctors and they would just look at me.
Right.
And I'm like, and I used to tell them like, it has to do some damage at some point.
Right. I always told them, I said, is it safer for me to take 6 pills a day of an opioid pain medication or take handfuls of Tylenol? Like, realistically, what is, and again, not medical advice. Please don't do any of what I just said. But if it's between X amount of pills and X amount of pills, it almost just makes common sense that, less is more.
Well, and me stepping on my soapbox for a moment, like, let's be real about it. It's not really healthcare, it's sick care.
Yeah, see, I call it the medical industry because I don't believe that it has any kind of care in it, hardly at all anymore. It's a financial gain kind of thing.
Yeah, so that was another like realization thanks to TikTok that I've learned, and I'm continuing to learn about other people. That's why, like, when I'm asked to be on a live, I'm on it because I know I'll get messages later like, I didn't know about,
Yeah.
I'm constantly every day learning something new on TikTok from real people like us for all kinds of stuff. And because we can't rely on this sick care system anymore.
Right. Plus, I mean, you can put a filter on, but the story is raw. It's real. It's personal. It's
Absolutely. And I think it's so vital that we continue to do this, to continue to support each other and share each other's stories when we see when we see one of us jump on lives, try to jump on. If you see somebody's video sharing their story, share it out or throw it on your on your story. The more exposure that everybody, not just the chronically ill get, because in reality, we need to reach a lot of non-chronically ill people with some of these messages. And a lot of, medical professionals need to hear what we have to say too, because what we have to say really matters. And they can make such a difference in our lives, either traumatic or successful. And I think they need to hear that, So I always say, when you find that good doctor, when you find the unicorn doctor, the one that's willing to treat your pain, the one that's willing to listen to you, make sure that you thank them, because it may have been something that you didn't think about, something that it just, seems normal to expect for a doctor to be kind and compassionate, but it's becoming more and more rare. So praise those doctors that are still like that, because the system is ruining them quicker than they're pumping out good ones. So,
and it's not even about like the care. It could be like, to get down to the nitty gritty, there's a creator on here that is promoting redesigning doctor forms to be more updated. Because if you think about it, if you go to, it seems like everything's automated now and they got their own patient portals, but there are still forms papers you have to fill out, and they're so old.
Right.
It's so dated that it's just been copied over and copied over and copied over. Has anybody took a hard look at that And do you have a little itty bitty tiny line to write your address, or can you have space? So what that tells me, like, I'm a graphic designer also, so that's why I follow her, you know.
Nice.
But what that tells me is there are people out there that are looking at the bigger picture and then honing in on these little things that could help the user experience.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of going to the doctor and filling out, you know, a big
most of the time you can't even
write, you know,
in there.
and writing on the margins or something, you know, like she's out there. I think she's the only one in the country probably trying to do this, but she's trying to promote.
I think that's great.
I will redesign your patient forms for you, you know, just call me.
That's awesome.
But there's people that are doing that for all kinds of, you know, things in the whole practice of it.
Mm-hmm. I think that brings up a really good subject that Keith and I have kind of been touching on lately, is that there are so many of us within this community already, and I know that there are just so much more out there that we're going to find over time. But we all have a special skill set. Everybody is talented in some way. You know, everybody has their thing that they do really well at. And I think I really look forward to hearing more about what you guys have to offer too, because we're a community and we need each other. It takes a village to run this thing, and Keith and I are learning that the hard way. But we, you know, definitely if there's something that you have that you want to bring to the table, let us know, because we could definitely use the help.
You guys are doing great, though. That's just my opinion.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, never did I ever imagine that 2 years ago when I started telling my story about my pain, did I ever think that I would be here tonight hosting a live, you know, with some really amazing warriors in here. Like, come on, guys. We got 27, 28, 29, 30 of us in here. And, you know, I think it's going really well. I love hearing your story, Chelle, and I know you have so much more to share. So if you guys want to know more about Chelle, definitely follow her. And definitely, yes, BlessYourVibes.com. And check out her website. She's got some really awesome merchandise, as well as some jewelry. And I saw that you're into crystals and stuff too. That's fun. I also was doing some fundraisers a few months ago with crystals and things like that.
Yeah, these are crystals here.
Awesome. Let's see what
Don't
else.
forget the shirts.
Yes, the shirts. Check out her No Gaslighting shirt. Yeah. She has some great shirts on there, and some cancer awareness, you know, products, things like that.
I also have a database on there. If you go under the resources page, it's over 500 cancer resource websites.
Wow.
And I started it like in August. So, and you can like, if there's a site that's not on there that you know of, like a local site, for resources, you can submit it to me and I'll add it.
Okay.
And so I know what it's like. When I was first diagnosed with bladder cancer, there was like two main sites, BCAN and BladderNet, and great, wonderful sites, but there was no more interactive, you know, that it was more informational. It wasn't like finding local support groups, finding local information. So I try to include all the cancers I can. It's not just bladder cancer, it's for all cancers. For financial help, wigs, like wig banks, transportation, housing, like, because I know it's not a cancer live, but
well, it's your story, and that's part of your story. So
it's needed. It's needed. And then I also published a journal for cancer. Actually, let me mention this, if you don't mind.
At the beach right now.
I'm kind of jealous.
I guess this is my, if I could take a quick second. I created this journal.
Oh yeah, I saw that on your website. I'm glad you brought that up, and the other one too.
Yeah, the other one is specifically for cancer, but this one, this is my first one, and I created it. It had a lot to do with pain because it's like a daily check-in for your body.
Yeah.
And it has like, is it a bones day or a no bones day?
Okay.
And your pain level and like how your body is. And when I did it, it was so you could monitor, for like 6 months or so, or a month, and then go back and see what good days you had, what was going on that day. Was it a really bad pain day or bad body function day? Like, was the weather bad? Did you not get enough sleep? So I guess this would be considered a good journal for
any kind of
for anybody.
Chronic illness, be it mental or physical. I used to do a mental health check-in journal every day. I did it for a couple years.
It's got physical and mental, and just a regular journal.
That's great.
So,
and those are nice.
That's on your website, right? On BlessYourVibes.com.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely, check out her website. She's got a lot of good things. There are a couple of things that I want to bring up before we head out, because I know it's starting to get late for some people. So I had a follower named Leslie. She made a point today to reach out to me to make sure that I knew that she had done her comment on the website. For those of you guys who haven't already heard, the DEA is planning on cutting production again of many pain medications, and we need to try our hardest. It only takes a couple of minutes, and you can do it anonymously if you so want to. I think the only requirement is a email address. I think that's the only required thing that you have to put. Go out and make your comments heard. Tell them, how the production cuts have already hurt us, how we, doctors are not wanting to prescribe anymore. You guys know the rigmarole. You guys know what to say, right? And if you don't, check out VJ Gray or Brandy. Both of their TikToks are very, very informative. Let me see here. The link to make a comment is in my bio. So if you just click on my photo when we get out of here, then you can go, there's a link tree little website, and you click on that, and the first thing that should pop up is that link to go make your comment. And let's see. Yeah, I mean, many of us already can't access safe pain medications. This is just going to cause us further harm if this happens again. I mean, we only have 8 days left, guys. So don't wait. We only have 8. And it's been very, very sketchy, this whole thing. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to VJ. Hold on, I got to do the puzzle thing real quick. Okay. Yeah, reach out to VJ or Brandy, or there's a lot of different advocates on here talking about it. I'm more on the ground. Yeah, if you have questions for them in regards to it, then definitely reach out to either of them. I am not that educated in law or, criminal justice or any of those things. That's where they specialize in, and I am just on the grounds working with people. And that's where I love, and that's where I belong. And I love you guys so much. I'm so thankful for this community. I could not have gotten through this last year without y'all. Like, absolutely could not have. So thank you guys. Thank you, Joe, for always participating. And
Also,
thank
make
you for,
sure you only comment once.
Yeah, you can only comment once unless you have a different email address.
Well, yeah, but what I mean, I'm saying with the same email.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't
One per
do it with
email.
the same
Yeah, you can't
email.
comment 10 times
You
with
can
the same
only
email.
do one comment per email address.
Yes.
So, thank you, Leslie. I appreciate you letting me know.
Yes, thank you so much for, sharing with everyone your journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to look at that A-link, when I get off of here.
You can message
Definitely.
me. I can send you a link right through Messenger or something.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. And thank you both for having me on here. It's always a pleasure to tell my story and just be amongst community where people get it.
Absolutely. Last thing, I'm going to push what I'm doing. I'm doing a self-love workbook for women, and I'm going to be doing a live tomorrow at 10 a.m. So if anybody wants to register for that, when I jump off of here, I'm going to create the registration, but it doesn't have to be specifically for women.
I was going to ask that.
It doesn't have to be specifically for women. I have found a lot of really important, impactful information on this little book. It's only $8 on Amazon. I don't earn anything off of it, but the link is in my link tree if you guys want to get it and follow along. If not, then, I've been sharing like one page per live, and it's going to take me a minute to get through all these lives. But I think it's a really important thing for not just myself to focus on, but, we all have to pour into ourselves to be able to pour out. And if we're not pouring in and we just keep pouring out, we're going to burn out. So I'm not ready for a burnout yet.
we got way too much life going on.
Yes,
I know. I'm 50 and I'm ready to go and be more active than I have my whole life.
Yeah, that's what I say every morning. I'm like, Carpe Diem, we are going to take this shit on today. And that is the attitude I wake up with, even when I don't fucking feel good. I'm like, you know what? You're going to take this day and you're going to make it your... And most days, even if I do it slow like today, I still took it off.
Not chasing the chickens is going to do it for you.
I sent my niece to chase them, but it was a good time. But yeah, together we are invisible no more. We will continue to share our stories and continue to get our voices heard and hopefully make some change. That's the ultimate goal, is to be the change you wish to see in the world. So, all right, y'all. Does anybody else have anything else they want to say?
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you. Thank you, Chelle.
Love y'all.
Love y'all. Good night.
Good night. Have a great night.
You too. Oh, hold on. Lil Red. Oh, let me see if I think maybe I missed a question. Little Red, did I miss something from you before we jump off? Sorry. It's really, I've been in a brain injury, so it's hard for me to do both read and listen actively. Okay. I don't
see anything.
Yeah.
I can't get prescribed anymore for the year. That was her last comment.
Oh, just talking about ibuprofen. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, if you have any questions, if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to me through private message. It may take me a day or two to get back to y'all. That's me, not you. I just have so much going on between chickens and cooking and life and this. So, all right. Good night, y'all.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.